And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Welcome to Benchley Night. Benchley Night on March 3rd, 2024. Amazing. Amazing to be in 2024 with a bright, bright future ahead for America, ladies and gentlemen. A bright, bright future indeed. Did everyone see the New York Times Siena poll that had the orange one leading 48 to 43 or something? Humans are astonishing, ladies and gentlemen. They are astonishing. Anyway, it is lovely to be here. It is lovely to be here. The cats are in, though they've had dinner. So I don't know where they are, but the wood stove is going, even though it's quite warm here. Wood stove is still nice at night. So we may have some cats visiting later. Now it is, let's see, we have finished My Life in Hard Times, and it is nearly time to for one of my favorite Benchleys in April, the legendary Paul Revere's Ride. But it's a little early for that right now. But let us raise our liberal snowplowing do-gooder mugs in joyous reunion tonight. And let us say, coffee by morning, Benchley by night. Hey, my brother Will Hunter's here. Hi, Will. Hey, Will, my friend Judy Brugman says that a friend of hers was a classmate of yours at Exeter. Someone named Michael Hurley, but that's not Michael Hurley from Holy Modal Rounders, is it? Or maybe it is, I don't know. Anyway, there's that. Hi, John Wilhelm, out there in Omaha, Nebraska, where you've been photographing Amtrak trains coming through many, many hours late due to the snows in the Sierra Nevadas. Hi there, Terry Hudson. I'm sure Facebook user is here. I hope Facebook user is here. Facebook user stopped by today and dropped off a check, and we have a few people to thank. We are raising money for the Miss Bellows Falls Diner project. That's going to be front and center for me for the next few months. I mean, in terms of fundraising, I'm tearing around a lot, but you're going to be, my hand's going to be in your pocket a lot for this Bellows Falls Diner, but I'll buy you a cup of coffee when we reopen someday. All right. Anyway, my brother says, Mike Hurley. Yes. All right. Mike Hurley. Yes, we agree. Let's see, a few people to thank for stepping up today. Out there in Omaha, Nebraska, who, as I said, he is taking many photographs, excellent photographs of the California Zephyr passing through Omaha. Normally it passes through in the middle of the night, but it has been passing through during the day due to the huge snows out there in the Sierra Nevadas. Mr. John T. Wilhelm. Out there in St. Louis, Missouri, getting over a bad cold. And doubtless about to start off on another trip, Ms. Terry Hudson. Someone who they contributed today. They're not a normal contributor, but since I was using this new system of going directly to the Miss Bellows Falls Diner website, I don't actually know if they are listening or if they are just someone who was moved to donate, but we are delighted to have with us Mr. Herbert Bowen out there in Saxons River, Vermont, where there's only one lane. There's only one lane road to Saxons River, but she made it through today and dropped off a check. Ms. Martha Rowley. And out there, finally, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Where the penguins and pirates play. And a very, 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 very tall man plays with a very, very, very wee dog. And they are accompanied by their wonderful wife, Elise, Mr. Nat Hunter. All right. Well, tonight's reading is not going to be Benchley, nor is it going to be Thurber. It's going to be one of my other favorite stories that I could probably get hit for copyright infringement, even though this is not monetized. This is a story by Mr. Ian Frazer. It's published in the Utne Reader. It's called Count on Crows. Count on Crows. Do you remember this one, ladies and gentlemen? It's one of my favorites. Hi, Judith. Hi, Judith from Lowell, Michigan. I like Lowell, Michigan. Count on Crows by Ian Frazer. Lately, I've been working for the Crows, and so far, it is the best job I have ever had. I fell into it by a combination of preparedness and luck. I had been casting around a bit, looking for a new direction in my career, and one afternoon when I was out on my walk, I happened to see some crows fly by. One of them landed on a telephone wire just above my head. I looked at him for a moment, and then, on impulse, I made a noise with my teeth. He seemed to like that. I saw his tail make a quick upward bobbing motion at the sound. Encouraged, I made the sound again, and again his tail bobbed. He looked at me closely with one eye, then turned his beak and looked at me with the other, meanwhile readjusting his feet on the wire. After a few minutes, he cawed, and he flew off to join his companions. I had a good feeling that I couldn't quite put into words. Basically, I thought the meeting had gone well, and as it turned out, I was right. When I got home, there was a message from the Crows saying that I had the job. That first interview proved indicative of the Crows' business style. They are very informal and relaxed, unlike their public persona, and mostly they leave me alone. I'm given a general direction of what they want done, but the specifics of how to do it are pretty much up to me. For example, the Crows have long been unhappy about public misperceptions of them, that they raid other birds' nests, drive songbirds away, eat garbage and dead things, can't sing, etc., etc., all of which is completely untrue once you get to know them. My first task was to take these misperceptions and turn them into a more positive image. I decided the Crows needed a slogan that emphasized their strengths as a species. The slogan I came up with was, "Crows, we want to be your only bird," trademark. I told this to the Crows. They loved it, and we've been using it ever since. Crows speak a dialect of English rather like that of the remote hill people of the Alleghenies. If you're not accustomed to it, it can be hard to understand. In their formal speech, however, they are as measured and clear as a radio announcer from the Midwest, though, as I say, they are seldom formal with me. For everyday needs, of course, they caw. Their unit of money their unit of money is the empty soda bottle, which trades at a rate of about 20 to the dollar. In recent years of economic boom, the Crows have quietly amassed great power. With investment capital based on their nationwide control of everything that gets With, in, with investment capital based on their nationwide control of everything that gets run over on the roads, they have bought a number of major companies. Pepsi-Cola is now owned by the Crows, as well as Knight Ridder newspapers and the company that makes Tombstone frozen pizzas. The New York Metropolitan Opera is now wholly Crow-owned. In order to stay competitive, the Crows recently merged with the Ravens. This was done not only for reasons of growth, but also to better serve those millions who live and work near Crows. In the future, both Crows and Ravens will be known by the group name of Crows. So if you see a bird and wonder which it is, you don't have to waste any time. Officially and legally, it is a crow. The net result of this, of course, is now there are a lot more crows, which is exactly what the Crows want. Studies they've sponsored Studies they've sponsored show that there could be anywhere from 10 to 1,000 times more crows than there already are, with no strain on carrying capacity. A healthy increase in crow numbers would make basic services like cawing loudly inside your bedroom window. A healthy increase in crow numbers would make basic services like cawing loudly outside your bedroom window at 6 in the morning available to all. In this area, as in many others, the Crows are thinking very long term. If more people in the future get a chance to know crows as I have done, they are in for a real treat. Because I must say, the crows have been absolutely wonderful to me. I like them not just as highly profitable business, associates, but truly as friends. Their aggressive side, admittedly quite strong in disputes with scarlet tanagers and other birds, has been nowhere in evidence around me. I could not wish for any companions more charming. The other day, I was having lunch with an important crow in the park, me sipping from a drinking fountain while he ate me sipping from a drinking fountain while he ate peanuts taken from a squirrel. In between sharp downward raps with his bill on the peanut shell to poke it open, he drew me out with seemingly artless questions. Sometimes the wind would push the shell to one side, and he would steady it with one large foot while continuing the raps with his beak. And all the while, he kept up his attentive questioning, making me feel that, business considerations aside, he was truly interested in what I had to say. Crows, we want to be your only bird. I think this slogan is worth repeating because there's a lot behind it. Of course, the crows don't literally want or expect to be the only species of bird left on the planet. They admire and enjoy other kinds of birds and even hope that there'll still be some remaining in limited numbers out of doors as well as in zoos and museums. But in terms of daily usage, the crows hope that you will think of them first when you are looking for those quality of life intangibles usually associated with birds. Singing, for example. Crows actually can sing, and beautifully. So far, however, they have not been given the chance. In the future, with fewer other birds around, they feel like they will be. Whether they're good-naturedly harassing an owl caught out in daylight, or carrying bits of sticks and used gauze bandages in their beaks to make their colorful free-form nests, or simply landing on the sidewalk in front of you with their characteristic double hop, the crows have become part of the fabric of our days. When you had your first kiss, the crows were there, flying around nearby. They were cawing overhead at your college graduation and worrying a hamburger wrapper through the wire mesh of a trash container in front of the building when you went in for your first job interview, and flapping past the door of the hospital when you held your firstborn child. The crows have always been with us, and they promise that by growing the species at a predicted rate of 17% a year in the future, they'll be around even more. The crows aren't the last Siberian tigers, and they don't pretend to be. They're not interested in being a part of anybody's dying tradition. But then, how many of us deal with Siberian tigers on a regular basis? Usually, the non-tech stuff we deal with, besides humans, is squirrels, pigeons, raccoons, rats, mice, and a few kinds of bugs. The crows are confident enough to claim that they will be able to compete effectively, even with these familiar and well-entrenched providers. Indeed, they have already begun to displace pigeons in the category of walking around under park benches with chewing gum stuck to their feet, scampering nervously in attics, sneaking through pet doors, and gnawing little holes in things are all in the crows' expansion plans. I would never have taken this job if I did not believe strongly and deeply in the crows. And I do. I could go on and on about the crows' generosity, their taste in music, their sense of family values, the buddy system they invented to use against other birds, the work they do for the Shriners, and so much more. But they're paying me a lot of bottles to say this. I can't expect everybody to believe me. I do ask, though, if you're unconvinced, you take this simple test. Next time that you're looking out a window or driving in a car, notice if there's a crow in sight. Then multiply that one crow by lots and lots of crows, and you'll get an idea of what the next few years are going to bring. In the bird department, no matter what, the future is going to be almost all crows all the time. That is just a fact. So why not just accept it, learn to appreciate it, as so many of us have already. The crows are going to influence our culture and our world in beneficial ways, and we cannot even imagine today. Much of what they envision, I'm not yet at liberty to disclose, but I can tell you it is magnificent. They're going to be birds like we have never seen. In their dark, jewel-like eyes burns an ambition to be more and better and to fly around all over the place constantly. They're smart, they're driven, and they're coming at us. The crows. Let's get ready to welcome tomorrow's only bird. I love that story. I love that story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you take good care. We'll see you next week with some Robert Benchley, I promise you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.